Alright, I got my basic mesh, which is going to be a brick wall. Now the concept is trying to add a decal to this, which my decal is going to be some graffiti. Now I set the material up as a composite layer, and in the composite layer I got a standard material which I'm going to have in a diffuse slot, a bitmap, which is going to hold my decal. I save the decal as a target image file because targas store alpha channels, and you'll see why I need that alpha channel in a little bit. Now, in the coordinates for the UV map, I'm switching it over to map channel 2 because when I set the UV coordinates, I need a specific channel that the coordinates will be used for the material. Now, to isolate the image, I'm going to go into View Image, make sure you will check the box to apply, and now as you can see, I turned off the other RGB channel so I can see a little bit better what I'm isolating. By simple selecting decal, it's pretty simple at this point. Now I'm going to go back up to my standard material, the parent of that, and I'm going to go into I'm going to copy an instance, or actually it's a copy, not an instance, into the opacity channel. Basically I want to keep the same settings. This is a simple way of just duplicating it over from one channel to another. Everything is going to be the same, and this is the reason why I wanted that target image file, so I don't have to have two different images. So to have one for my image or my diffuse slot and one for my opacity slot. I switch it over to alpha. Now on the mesh I'm going to add an unwrap UV modifier to actually specify the coordinates that I want my decal to be placed on. Into the edit panel, as you can see, it opens up a window, and I'm going to select all the polygon faces and go to mapping and unfold mapping so I can see all the polygons laid out. Now I just want the front of the brick wall, so I'm just going to select that polygon and then break that away from the rest of them and move that to the side, and I'm going to shrink all the other polygon faces and set them off to the side, off the area that I want the actual image to be in, so it's not affecting any other polygon. As you can see, I'm affecting the brick base material because I haven't switched it over in the unwrap UVW panel, which I'm about to do right now. Switch it to channel 2, which is the channel that the decal is on, that I switched it on in the material slot. Now back into my material, I'm going to show it in the viewport so I can see what I'm doing. As you can see, it's way too big. So I'm going to go back into the diffuse channel slot and tile it a little bit bigger. I think I did about 5 by 5, so it's smaller compared to the brick wall. Now when I do it in the diffuse slot, it's not going to automatically do it for the opacity channel, which I'm going to have to manually go in and then do the same thing. Then as you can see, you got your decal that's transparent on your brick wall, which is what I was trying to accomplish. Now the concept of just repeating it using the decal sheet is pretty simple. All I'm going to do is just duplicate the channel underneath the composite layer, so I'm not actually creating them any differences. The only difference is I'm going to actually isolate a different decal. You can actually go into the UV editor slot and actually adjust the corners to be where you want it. You can rotate it. You can affect just simple polygon faces using the quick planer tool. You see I'm dragging a copy over to the next slot. Like I said, it's all going to be pretty much the same, except I'm just using a different decal. Now you actually got to go and switch it to map channel 3 since the UV coordinates, you don't want to be confused with the other decal. Back into the view image slot and then turn all the other RGB modes off. Then move it over to the next decal. Everything's pretty much the same at this point. The only thing you got to remember is that every new decal has a different map channel that you need to set. The reason being is because when you have a UV coordinate already specified for a certain channel and you need a new spot to put on your mesh, you don't want the same coordinate, which is why you specify a new channel. Now there's other ways that you can map and actually place a decal on your mesh, but I think this way is probably one of the most easiest.